Alright guys, welcome back. I'm sorry that took a little more than 15 minutes or 10 minutes. It probably took more like 15. I was behind Sunday drivers, as my mother and I call them. I absolutely hate Sunday drivers. Like, at least drive the speed limit, don't drive under the speed limit. But that's not what we're here to talk about, okay? So, as I stated about 15 minutes ago, in the very first quick live video, just to let you guys know that we'll be a little late, we're going to talk about compound movements today, okay? So compound movements are extremely important to your fitness level, and not only to your fitness level, but actually to your health and to your daily activities, okay? The reason that compound movements, or actually let's start with what compound movements are. I think that's a really good place to start. So, compound movements are basically more than one movement in one exercise. And it's going to target way more than one muscle group. So, anytime you're working out, you have what we call an agonist and an antagonist muscle, or a primer and a stabilizer. So that's going to be two different muscles. Let's take a squat and a quad in your quads and hams. When you're doing a squat, your hamstrings are your stabilizers, which means that they aren't necessarily moving, and more than likely they aren't getting the benefit of the exercise or the movement. While your quadriceps, that's your primer. That guy's the one that's getting the benefit of the movement that you're doing, okay? So that's two different muscles that we're working at the same time. So we're always working two different muscles, but one is going to be getting the benefit of the exercise and the other one isn't. Compound movements, on the other hand, we're going to actually do an exercise that is going to allow two or more muscles to get the benefit of the exercise. So an example of a compound movement is going to be, per se, a front squat with like a torso twist, or a front squat with a bicep curl into a shoulder press. Let's actually stick with that one. When you're doing that front lunge, you're of course working what? Your quadriceps. The bicep curl gives you your bicep movement, and then your shoulder press is going to work on your anterior deltoid muscles, okay? So that means that we have three different muscle groups that's getting the benefit of one different exercise. The reason that these compound exercises are so important to your fitness level and most definitely to your health is because when you're doing anything in life, any type of movement, you're not just working one muscle, ever. Whether it's getting out of a chair from a seated position, whether it's reaching overhead in your closet or your pantries and your cabinets to retrieve an item, even something as simple as pushing a stroller, which I just did, because you guys notice I'm not moving anymore, right? Any of those movements, I'm using way more than one muscle group. I'm not just using one isolated muscle. So if we work out that way, if we work out in a manner that allows us to strengthen and tone more than one muscle group at a time, it allows us to be healthier. It's going to give us a greater range of motion when we are performing different activities in life. And of course, it's going to allow us to be stronger and to have the capability to lift more, all right? So that is the importance of having a compound movement, or incorporating compound movements into your workouts. They're so important. And a lot of people don't train that way at all. Now, is it smart to train using compound movements all the time? Actually, yes. Why not? Again, you're not using, or you're not isolating just one muscle group when you're doing something every day. You're using way more than one. So it's definitely smart to train compound movements all the time. My little associate agrees, right? My boss agrees. So that's number one. Yes, it's very smart to do that. Two, should you still do cardio when you're training compound movements? Absolutely. Your heart is going to work and it's going to pump every day that you're alive. There's absolutely no reason that you should compromise your cardiovascular endurance or your cardiovascular training for compound movements. I personally think that both can be done in the same session if that's what you want to do. Actually, I know they both can be done in the same session because I hate cardio days. So I like to go ahead and write a workout for myself that's going to have an element of cardio, which is going to get my heart rate moving, as well as have some compound movements thrown in there. So it may be quote unquote leg day. I'll focus on my legs. Absolutely. Francis, thank you so much for coming back. I think you missed like the first maybe 5 minutes. So catch it on the replay or either YouTube. But go ahead and shoot me your questions too. So sorry. I have a leg day that'll focus right specifically on legs. Great. But I'm always going to make sure that there are compound movements in that leg day as well. So indirectly, or not indirectly, but other muscles will be getting worked as well as, yeah. But you did miss my rant about Sunday drivers and why I end up being 15 minutes late instead of 10. That'll make you laugh. But yeah, so I'll do that. And I have other muscles that, of course, are going to be sore as well. They're going to get trained. But my legs will be the primary focus. And I know that probably was a question as well. Yes, you can throw compound movements into a workout when your primary focus is legs or your primary focus is upper body. It's still smart to train with your compound movements, okay? So I'll recap really quickly and then I'll see if you guys have any questions. So we talked about compound movements. What is a compound movement? A compound movement is doing an exercise that's going to strengthen, tone, and utilize way more than one muscle group. It's going to utilize more than likely 2 or 3. This is not to be confused with if you ever hear your trainer or your instructor or whoever, your fitness coach, say agonist or antagonist muscles or primers and stabilizers. Yes, every time you do an exercise, you are working 2 different muscles, but one is receiving the benefit of the exercise, one is not. That is not a compound movement. A compound movement allows the 1 or more muscle groups to actually receive the benefit of the workout, okay, of the exercise. So that's number 1. Number 2, compound movements are essential to your workouts because that is how you move in everyday life, and it's going to help you with your activities of daily living, such as reaching over your head, getting up, or anything else that you may need to do. 3, yes, it is smart to train compound movements every time you're working out. And 3A, if you will, you can definitely still use compound movements anytime that you are having a specific day. So like you came in when I was talking about leg day and how I'll have leg day, but I'm still going to use compound movements. My legs are just kind of what I'm focusing heavier on. So those are our 3 points about compound movements, what they are, how they're beneficial. Do you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns about compound movements? They are major key when working out. Oh, and we also talked about how compound movements they can and should incorporate some type of cardiovascular training. Well, they don't have to. What I said, let's retract that. What I actually said was that you should still cardiovascular train, so you shouldn't allow your endurance to drop because you're strengthening and using compound movements. That's what I said. So yes, it's still important to have that cardio day. Now, what I also said with that is that personally I hate cardio, so I don't have a problem incorporating some type of cardio into my compound movement. But that's just me. I hate cardio. I think everybody who knows me on Instagram and definitely everybody who knows me in person knows that. So those are our points about compound movements, okay? Any questions, comments, or concerns before I let my boss go play? Yes. Go ahead, shoot your questions, comments, concerns. I'll definitely answer them. And if you can't think of anything right now, because, compound movements are kind of a lot to digest. It takes a little bit of time to really figure out what's going on with them. And honestly, sometimes you need to see one before you understand what I'm talking about with this. You can definitely email me. I respond to emails fairly quickly. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm terrible with responding to direct message on Instagram. There is a 99.9% chance I don't even know you sent me a message on Instagram, even though the alert came through my phone. I don't pay attention to those. So email me if you have any questions. about your compound movements, okay? I hope everybody had a great 4th of July. I know yesterday felt like potentially Monday to me, so I actually forgot that today I was supposed to do Fit Friday. But we made it, right? Enjoy your weekend. Make sure you get some work done, a workout in, and get out and enjoy the weather. Today's not super muggy, so it's a great day to be outside. Have a good one.